Next monarch.
Do you actually want him to be the monarch?
Absolutely.
I don't know, he's very eloquent when he speaks.
We need somebody that's going to be dominant to run our country.
I'm tired of all these illegal immigrants taking our jobs.
Election's going fantastic. We're actually up in all 7 swing states.
I believe we're at the early stages of World War III.
What is socialism?
Socialism? It's basically where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
You can shake your head.
Well, I just don't, but you haven't given it. You said
because I've been campaigning all day, dude.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
not going to keep going back and forth.
Fair enough.
But like, you are being a little silly.
This is the biggie, guys. US presidential election 2024. Now, I'm traveling all over the US, but we're starting here in Madison, the capital of Wisconsin. This state could decide it. This has been a swing state. It goes Republican or Democrat, but very small margins. Both candidates are throwing absolutely everything at it. Now, we're going to go to a Trump rally. I'm excited and slightly scared, not going to lie, but we're going to talk to people to get a real flavour of what this state is, what matters in this election, and that means people's wages, their conditions, and issues like Israel's onslaught against the people of Gaza. So much to talk about. I'm excited. We're going to talk to people in Wisconsin. John Nichols, preeminent progressive journalist. What an honour. Co-wrote a book with Bernie Sanders.
Truth.
Where the hell are we now?
Where the hell we are.
It's beautiful.
Yes, we are in a very beautiful place. This is the state capital of Wisconsin, the ultimate battleground state, the most closely contested state in the U.S., usually.
It's got 10 electoral votes.
10 electoral votes, and of the last 6 presidential elections, this state, which turns out about 3 million people for an election, or to vote in an election, of the last 6, 4 have been decided by under 25,000 votes.
Whoa.
So this is the place where, you know, it literally comes down to, is there a small town someplace, you know, that we should go to? And the candidates actually go. It's different than every place else. It's a state that has its own character in an awfully lot of ways. The thing about Wisconsin is it is a state that until about 125 years ago was, you know, just pillaged by corporate capital, the bankers, everybody, the railroads, and to a greater extent than any other American state, with possible exception of North Dakota, it revolted, you know. And in 1900, they elected a guy named Robert M. La Follette as governor, and he said, "I'm going to break the machine." And what that meant was, I'm going to break the corporations. They're not going to tell us what to do anymore. And he created a movement here, a progressive populist movement that was for economic and social and racial justice before other places and before other people, that was anti-war, including anti-World War I, that was conservationist and environmentalist long before. This was the left. And La Follette ran for president in 1924. Didn't win, but basically.
Who's this guy? Come on, we're standing next to him.
Yeah, it's him. We're introducing him to you. Yeah.
We're just talking about it behind.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was going to introduce you to him at some point.
Just basic social etiquette. So this is a special birthday party for a local progressive Democratic politician, Francesca Hong. I'm going to be interested because these are all progressives. Are they going to be that happy about the choice ahead of them? Because a lot of progressives are disillusioned at the moment.
Being a state representative in the state of Wisconsin is fucking absurd, but absolutely gratifying.
Tell me why it's fucking absurd.
Because we have had a gerrymandered state where Republicans in power have essentially tried to strip the rights and erode democracies across our state for the last 13 to 14 years. And since COVID, we've had a resurgence of folks who have been organizing, even actually well before COVID, but folks who have been organizing to try to defeat these Republicans and the rising fascism in our state, win back fair maps, and try to get a redistrict so we can have a legislature that's actually representative of the people.
And this is what they're doing all over the country, isn't it? The Republicans are stitching up the electoral boundaries.
Correct, because they want to maintain power, and then they want to make sure that they are complacent and never actually have to answer to the needs of the communities they're supposedly supposed to represent. Voting for Harris is one step. It's going to be one tool in a broader progressive movement to make sure that we don't have to choose between the lesser of two evils anymore.
Because it does sound to a lot of people like lesser of two evils. It sounds like, you know.
Well, it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But the fight against fascism is to love, care, and organize with your community, which is what's happening right now.
And a lot of people look at Kamala Harris's position on Gaza and they think it's the same policy. Throw weapons at Israel and occasionally do sad face about all the Palestinians being slaughtered by American weapons. I mean, what would you say to that?
Democrats make a lot of mistakes.
It's not a mistake.
Democrats have unforced errors, and Democrats will try to undermine one another. But
genocide,
they like genocide.
Yeah. That's not.
She has been. She is. Oh no! I'm not saying
Yeah.
that isn't. I'm saying their stance is absolutely wrong right now. They should come out stronger. They have to. If Kamala Harris had come out staunchly opposed to genocide and saying, after I win, my transition team is going to work to end the genocide and put ahead an arms embargo and make sure that we hold Netanyahu accountable. Those are things that she could have said on the campaign trail, and she chose not to, and I think we would have seen much different margins right now. However...
But she doesn't do that because she doesn't believe that, does she? I mean, AIPAC, the main pro-Israel lobby, she's been associated with them. She's doing that out of conviction, surely. She basically supports what Israel's doing.
You and I both know that there are a lot of advisors and people who are telling her what to do, and I think she believes, and I know Tim Walz also believes, that what is happening, the genocide in Gaza, is completely unacceptable and must be stopped, and that we must preserve Palestinian life, we must value Palestinian life, and we have to work towards coexistence and peace and liberation as well as self-determination for Palestinians.
I mean, realistically, that's not going to happen under Kamala Harris. I mean, the problem is, I suppose, a lot of people think the Democrats' position is arm Israel, but just look a bit sad about it occasionally. But the net consequence is
I would rather hold a Kamala Harris administration accountable. I would rather work to get her unseated. I would rather work to have a president that is going to value Palestinian life. I'm not going to have an opportunity to even do that with a Trump. I'm not going to be able to fight a Trump administration.
What's the evidence that she values Palestinian life?
We can get her there. We can get her and hold her accountable there. I saw the last I checked, 750,000 uncommitted voters move elected officials to seriously recognize that democracy is still alive and well in our state when we can have movements like Uncommitted bring together over 750,000 voters. In Wisconsin, we had rural voters, urban voters, suburban voters all vote uninstructed. Almost 50,000 voters voted uninstructed. Biden won by 20,000.
But she's not listening to that.
Once she's in office, it will be easier to take down a Kamala Harris administration than a Trump administration when it comes to holding them accountable for war crimes.
But the mechanism of after people have voted, because this was a moment when people have leverage. So why, after she's been safely voted into the White House, would she go, now I'll listen to you? Why would she do that?
She has to get reelected herself.
Well, she's not bothering.
No one's out here going for, I'm going to be the one-term president. Biden didn't even want that.
Why would she bother in the next election if she's not bothering in this one?
She knows she's losing voters. She knows it's close because of this, so that she doesn't. She's not going to want a bloodbath every single year when it comes to her own people trying to vote for her. Ultimately, at the core, as an elected official, the core of our responsibility is to lessen suffering. I truly do believe that Kamala Harris knows that her responsibility as President of the United States will be to lessen suffering. The way that she will do that will be up to how much she listens to her voters, and she will have to earn our votes, and she is working to do that right now. Is it enough? Absolutely not. Would I rather be fighting her for Palestinian liberation, which means liberation for all of us, than Trump? Absolutely.
Some would say the Democratic campaign is a bit about fear. It's about, this guy sucks, he's dangerous, we need to stop him. So that's quite a negative rather than a positive kind of vision for the country. What do you think about that? It's more like lesser evil.
There's this new energy within the party that it's not just fear motivated. People are excited. I mean, I'm super excited.
Really?
The fact that we are going to elect the first woman president, like, that means a lot to me as a woman in the U.S. Like, I was absolutely devastated when Hillary Clinton lost. You know, it was I was still in high school, and I remember thinking, like, you know, as a young woman, like, there was no longer a limit on leadership for women. Even though this is, you know, viewed as kind of good versus evil, democracy versus fascism, like, there's also, we're going to have a historic election if Kamala Harris wins. And I think...
Yeah, final question, I suppose, is on that. A lot of people go, she'll be the first woman president, but if I'm going to talk about disillusionment in the country, people say she's going to be the first woman president to keep arming a genocide in Gaza.
I think the difference between the two sides right now is that if one side is elected, we will not be able to protest the actions that they take in office, but the other side will be upholding democracy. And, you know, people who are very upset about the events happening in the Middle East right now and about the genocide that's occurring, they'll be able to protest Kamala Harris's decisions regarding that.
But a lot of people think you'll be able to protest and she'll ignore it. I mean, it'll be like
I don't
Whoopi
think she won't ignore it. They won't.
Joe Biden has. Because what he does is he arms it and then goes, he goes, it's very sad. And won't she just carry that on? She'll arm it and go, very sad about all those dead people, killed people, murdered people.
I guess I don't know what Kamala Harris will do, but I just know that, on November 6th, if she is elected president, we will be able to protest. People will be able, but if Donald Trump's president, it doesn't even matter. If we're able to close the book on Trump, it will usher in a whole new generation of leadership.
The soul of the Democrats then is won by people like people in this room.
I think so.
Amazing. I felt hopeful at the end. Was that hope?
It feels good to be on a bar again. Yeah! Hey, thank you all for coming out for Fran today. I just got back from doing doors in Baraboo with Karen DeSanto, one of the pickup seats that we need to get the majority. And I can tell you there's a good feel that's out there. Joe Biden has been stuck in kind of a 4 or 5 decade old view of what Israel was with very different leaders. And that's where he, I think, took most of the positions that were happening. Kamala Harris isn't from that same era. She's from the era I'm from and other people. And
She's
I think
associated with AIPAC. She was their star guest in 2017.
But then you'd have to say 85% of Congress gets money probably from AIPAC, right? So
she just said she's going to arm them no matter what.
No, I think you're incorrect. I think what is correct is she's from a different era, and she has said things that Joe Biden certainly didn't say, and she has called for, making sure that there is the ability to have an independent state for Palestinians.
He said that.
Yes, she has.
No,
she said
I know. I said Biden said that too.
No, he did not in the same way. No, I mean, I hear him probably a little more than you do, and he has not said that in a significant way. In fact, the biggest...
I read all his statements.
He's probably said the two-state solution sort of stuff, but he hasn't gone... She's gone farther in the words. I can tell you this as someone who's one of the most active people in Congress who cares about this issue.
No, it's just...
She has said things that go significantly farther than where he's at. Is anyone where I'm at?
Yeah.
No, but...
I don't know what tangibly. She'll keep selling arms. She'll just do the same thing.
No, you have no proof of that. She said nothing like that whatsoever.
Yes, she did.
No, she hasn't.
She said,
no, she hasn't. No, that's a statement out of ignorance. That's not a
That's
statement.
not a statement of ignorance. She said.
No, it is. It is.
What
statement
has she said which suggests she'll stop
she hasn't even
arms?
talked about that almost at all.
Yes, she has. She said,
no,
I will.
I think you're
arm
wrong.
Israel no matter what.
Well,
that's what she said.
You're wrong. No, I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Well, but give me a statement. Give me a statement. What has she said?
She hasn't said much on it, period, because she's been running for a short amount of time. But you've decided what she said. That's not correct.
She's running for president. She's under scrutiny.
So here's the answer. You're going to keep talking. I'll give you one last answer, and then we're done.
Okay.
All right. I think the promising part is that she is not from where Joe Biden is on this issue, and we have the ability to have her look at this, and I think she can see that Netanyahu is not operating in anyone's best interest.
Okay.
And I would argue selling any more offensive weapons is a bad idea, and I think that's the argument many of us are going to try to make should she win.
Okay.
But to put words in her mouth that she did not say, that you're only assuming are going to be her positions, she hasn't taken.
She's never said she'll stop arming Israel.
Okay, you're going to talk over me again. That's fine.
No, I'm just.
No, it's fine. But what I'm saying is she has not said things around this, because I would know. I follow this issue very closely.
So that's my job.
I know. So is my job, you know. Except I actually get shit done, and you kind of report about what happens. So I'm telling you, I'm a journalism major. I know what you're trying to do, but I do think that you're incorrect.
You ask questions.
But you are incorrect.
No, I think you're
and that she has not said.
Yeah.
But she has not said what you're saying she said, and I think we have to find out yet where she's going to be exactly on some of this. But
she's not said
she
anything
comes from a different
than
area. Well, she has totally. Okay, well, yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry you're upset. About
well, no, just you're wrong. And as a journalism major, I'm offended that you are not listening to someone who could tell you other things. You instead have decided what your story is going to be about.
No, I haven't.
But it's not correct.
Journalism is not about deferring to politicians and what they say. With all due respect.
But with all due respect, look at what she said at the DNC speech alone is more than Joe Biden has said ever about the area.
Just tell me what she said. That's more than Biden.
I'm not. That's been a few months ago, and I've been campaigning all day. You can actually look it up. It's pretty simple.
You said it
look
was
at
your
what she
job.
said. I just told you. Look at what she said at the DNC convention. It goes farther than what Joe Biden said at any other time.
I don't think that's true, with all due respect. I don't want to upset you
And
anymore, but I don't think anything
I can
she
tell
said
you,
is
for
different
those
than
of us who
Biden.
care about this issue in Congress, we have watched the language be different, and you can
Well,
shake your head.
Well, I just don't. But you haven't given. You said
because
it's your
I've been
job, so no, and
campaigning
you
all
haven't
day,
told me.
dude.
Okay, fair enough.
Keep going back and forth, but like you are being a little silly.
I'm not being silly. I just asked for
For
evidence.
someone who cares about this issue,
Okay. It's my job to ask questions. I think I was being respectful.
but you have to actually ask correct questions, and you're not actually using the correct things she said. So I don't know what value that adds.
I've asked you to tell me what she said concretely different
And I
than Joe
told you,
Biden.
I've been for 12 hours doing things today, and I can't tell you the exact words, but I said, go. This is real simple,
Well, what
okay?
do you want me-
Don't
what
talk
do you
over me for
expect me
1
to do?
second, okay? 1 second. Go to the DNC speech she gave. Look at the remarks she said, and you've never seen Joe Biden say what she said there alone. That's just one example I can give you.
that's not
The exact
true.
words,
Okay.
just so you know, I'm not an actor, so I don't remember all the scripts and everything. So, but look at that, and you will see the words that she said.
I did a
that go
video
farther.
about her speech
And-
at the Democratic National Congress. I know
Okay.
exactly what she said at the convention,
Yeah.
and the
So
words
then-
she
do
used
you know what
were
the-
identical.
I would
to
love
those
for you to
used by
share
Biden.
with me the parallel language that Joe Biden said to what she said, because it's not true.
It's not just about language; it's about commitment.
Well,
so she
now
hasn't
it's not
offered any-
language. Oh,
No,
that's
no,
a
no,
convenient.
No, that's not true.
That's a convenient
The
term.
language she used was the same.
No,
the
no,
language
it
she
wasn't.
used was the
Wait,
same.
you just said that it's not
But-
about language, but now
people-
you're saying it's the same.
What matters?
If you had said anything with consistency, I could answer the
I'm
question
saying
better.
what
You're not, though.
What
is the
matters
problem.
at the end of the day isn't just empathizing; it's about commitments. And she hasn't offered any concrete differences in policy.
Well,
That's
didn't
a
I
fact.
just tell you on a lot of policy, this in particular, we haven't seen a lot of additional statements because the campaign's been truncated. But what she said at the DNC...
There's been months of a
Okay,
campaign.
you're not going to let me finish any questions, so the
Okay.
interview's over.
I
mean, this is
I
kinda
haven't. It's
stupid.
just I've asked you the same
No,
question.
It's okay.
That's
It's all right, dude.
all right. Okay.
You don't really want to do an interview. That's fine.
I don't agree with that, but that's fine.
Well, I actually really want you to do.
Okay, that's up to you.
I don't really care about the interview.
Politician in Britain would never do that, but that's fine. Not sure about that. Let's do a debrief. Yeah, I think the problem for a lot of people who are obviously very angry about Gaza is basically the position of a lot of people saying just vote for Kamala Harris is trust me, bro. That's the problem.
I think there's a little bit of that. At this point, I think Harris has said very little about it. You know what I mean? It doesn't come up in her speech. It's not like a central theme of hers as a candidate, which I happen to think is a mistake. And you can disagree and may disagree. Harris's statements have, I think, been appreciably more sympathetic to the cause of the Palestinian people. That does not mean that she has said concrete things that that people should take away as assurances.
What is the basis in actual reality, not hope,
Yeah.
that Kamala Harris would be significantly different on this issue?
I think that's, I would tell you that I don't know.
So, I'm in my natural habitat, a Trump rally in Milwaukee. I am losing my Trump rally virginity. I'm a little bit nervous, not going to lie. I want to know what makes people here tick. I want to know, do they buy into the things that Trump's saying, or do they not really take it very seriously? I want to know how diverse they are in terms of the way they think. We're going to learn a lot, I think. Why are you pro-Trump?
Donald Trump's the king, man.
The king?
The king. He's the king.
Why is
Next
he a-
monarch. Next monarch.
Do you actually want him to be the monarch?
Absolutely.
What, and then just have no democracy?
Trump's God.
God. No,
Yeah,
you don't think
America,
that.
bro. America.
Right. You think so? Would you like him to just get rid of voting, or?
This is great.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's what the people want. Look around, man.
What? No more voting.
No more voting.
Democracy,
America.
bro. Democracy.
You not a fan?
If they don't act in the people's interest, it doesn't matter who you elect.
So would you want him to be a dictator?
We were Democrats, and the country's going to such shit, man.
So you've gone from a Democrat to Trump being a dictator.
Look at Putler in Russia.
Is that what you want, Putin?
Putler? Yeah.
Putin. You can call him Putler. It sounds more cute. Would you like him to be like Vladimir Putin?
Oh, absolutely. He acts in the people's interest.
I think Trump's a good guy. Obviously, he had his past and you know bad stuff, but
There's like a lot of sexual misdemeanors, that kind of thing.
I agree, but I think personally, I think he's better for the whole country than Kamala. I truly believe that.
Like he's a human.
He's
He
quite
acts like a human, not a politician that lies constantly.
Do you not think he lies quite a lot? Come on.
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on now.
No. And I don't vote for a person. I vote for their policies.
Because I think he's the best president that has ever existed. He does the things that he says he's going to. I think a lot of people turn his words around. He's not a racist. He's not a sexist.
No, the Muslim ban, which he first came up with it, was running the first time for president.
Oh, I guess I'm not that educated on it then.
Yes,
but okay, thank you.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
That is very cute. What was so amazing?
Donald Trump himself. I
Yeah.
love that man.
Someone I spoke to was a bit bored. They thought he was rambling a bit.
No, never.
Okay, no, I just feel like he's gonna make, for one, our economy very good again. Also, we need somebody that's gonna be dominant to run our country.
Oh, so you think he's quite macho?
Yes.
President Trump is well spoken. It's a diverse group within the arena. He talks about things I think that all humans want. You know, they want love, they want peace, they want, security for their family. He wants to be included, and I think he wants to end corruption.
I think he definitely can elaborate on his policies and everything like that. And I don't know, he's very eloquent when he speaks.
Eloquent?
Yes, very eloquent. And knowledgeable, and he covered all the bases really for everything that I believe is a conservative. So
Okay. So what makes you a conservative? Define it.
basically keeping America America. So end the wars, end inflation, all that kind of stuff.
In terms of end the war, so Gaza at the moment being wiped off the face of the earth with American bombs, is he going to end that?
I think we're more focused on ending the war in Ukraine, becoming more allies with Russia, North Korea, and just unifying NATO.
So the US would become allies with Russia and North Korea?
I would say we maybe not necessarily allies because I know they're not part of NATO, but they would team up with them and we could have collaboration.
I never thought I'd hear an American conservative say they want to be an ally of North Korea run by the Stalinists.
Well, we don't want them as an enemy, I'll tell you that much.
Because he supports the American people. He supports getting rid of illegals that don't belong here.
What? I mean,
they're ruining our country, getting our money. They're taking our Social Security. Our Social Security's running out because we're giving it to illegals. We're giving illegals $3,500 debit cards. It's got to come from somewhere.
Do you think
they're
the problem
taking our Social Security and giving it to illegals as well. That's money that I'm depending on in 4 years.
Why? You're younger, obviously younger Americans. A lot of younger Americans they're going to vote Democrat. Why do you think you're kind of different from the younger Americans?
I think it's part to do that I didn't go to college. I'm not getting brainwashed by the institution.
Stuff like, for example, when he says about immigrants eating pets.
Yeah.
Do you think they're not eating pets though, are they?
No, actually, some of them were actually. If you go to Haiti practices voodoo,
Right.
and they actually do use pets in certain sacrifices and certain ceremonies.
It's just there's no evidence in the United States immigrants are eating pets.
That's actually not true. There is, yeah.
Okay, I don't think there is.
I mean, there's police report. I mean, you can hear the actual call saying, hey, there's people who grabbed the geese right from the...
Geese on pets, come on.
Oh, well, pets, that's true. It was using animals, not pets.
The last thing I want to ask you, because I know it's cold, you want to go home, is about Israel and Gaza at the moment. Because a lot of people think, come on, supporting this, the hideous onslaught against the people of Gaza, that has to end. What do you think about that?
I think it's very simple. If you don't understand the full problem that goes back hundreds of years, thousands really, but if you don't understand, you can understand this one piece. If all the Jews put their weapons down right now and said, all right, that's it, I'm getting rid of my guns, you'd have millions of dead Jews. If all the people in Palestine and all of them put their weapons down, you'd have peace.
Well, in the West Bank, Fatah, the ruling faction, did do that. They said, that's it, we accept peace. And then Israel just carried on colonizing the West Bank and killing large numbers of Palestinians.
If you go back to the fact that there was peace, up until they decided to come in, kidnap children.
But that's not true. 240 Palestinians were killed in the West Bank before 7th of October.
We gotta go. Our Uber's here.
All right,
I
no worries.
apologize.
Take care. See you in a bit.
Israel is a strong nation in and of itself, and I personally believe, they've been a persecuted people for thousands of years. They have a right to defend themselves.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. Jewish people have been persecuted for so long and deserve security. The Palestinian people also deserve security, surely.
I mean, I do believe that they have a right to also be a nation, but they've been back and forth with the, Israel for a while now. I mean, they haven't been able to coexist with them.
Well, it's just because they were kicked out their land, so they did. I mean, if you were kicked out of your land, you probably wouldn't be very happy about it.
I mean, if you want to talk about like back in the 1980s, 1990s when they were doing the bus bombings, going into Israel.
Well, I mean, we could say 15,000 Palestinians were killed in 1948, and then were repeatedly killed in other huge military onslaughts and attacks by Israel.
Right. I'm not really sure how to respond to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't justify ever terrorism or attacks on civilians, but the vast majority of civilians have been killed by the Israeli state.
I mean, I'm not sure how to respond to that. I know, like, Netanyahu probably hasn't. I need to get back, man.
That's right, that's right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, cheers.
This is Trump and Vance I painted on single grains of rice.
So you have?
Yes.
Wow. How long did that take you? That's
4 hours last night for Vance and 4 or 5 hours for Trump.
If he loses, do you think he'll accept it? Because last time he didn't.
Truthfully, I think any American election, in terms of absentee ballots, are probably not the greatest degree of truth. I think if he does lose, he might not accept it, which I think is not correct.
If he loses, do you think he's going to accept the result?
It's a seriously loaded question.
Not really. He might lose.
Lose according to who?
The votes cast.
The votes are not a person.
I'm tired of all these fucking illegal immigrants taking our fucking jobs.
See, Kamala Harris and the Democrats are bringing all these illegal aliens in to vote for them.
Is that true? Because, I mean, if you're an undocumented migrant, you don't have the right to vote.
Yeah, but how come they're suing the states to keep them on the voting rolls?
Where they come from, do it legally. Do it legally. Okay. You become a criminal the second you cross the border illegally. You are now a criminal. You broke the law. You should not be allowed to do that. Why do we have laws if nobody's going to follow them?
I mean, we're going to go down that path. I mean, you're voting for Donald Trump, who's a lawbreaker. He's convicted for breaking the law.
Yeah, but go look back at the results of some of that stuff and refresh yourself on it before you just go, well, he's a convicted felon.
I'm just saying, he was found to have broken the law.
It's such a bait and hook kind of situation, though. I don't care that it's Donald Trump. I want his policies and the people he's bringing in.
I know. It's just you specifically were saying undocumented migrants had broken.
I said illegal immigrants, not undocumented.
I know, but you said they broke the law.
They did.
Okay, and you're saying that for you is clearly the big problem. So I just said that Donald Trump's done the same thing by that definition.
Has Donald Trump come in and killed people or stolen things or been part of a Venezuelan gang and gone into all these apartments? It doesn't matter about the vast majority. One is too many. One is too many.
Isn't that mostly Americans killing other Americans with guns because of your gun laws?
But how many people die in car accidents every year? Should we ban cars?
How's the election going?
Election's going fantastic. We're actually up in all 7 swing states. It's going to be a fantastic landslide, let me tell you.
I believe we're at the early stages of World War III. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's the most pressing issue.
We need to stop that, though, don't we?
Nuclear superpowers who aren't communicating with each other, as they once did, in diplomacy. I mean, you got clowns like Anthony Blinken and Jake Sullivan, the deep state, running the country. The whole CIA endorses Kamala Harris. Hope is, to get away from the deep state, and the industrial military complex.
I got 3 kids. I'm a family man, and I want my kids to be able to play in their own sports and not have men go against my daughter. And
it's trans people.
Yeah, well,
you don't like trans people?
Well, everyone can do what they want, but don't push it on my kids, Do you
think they really are? I mean, a lot of younger people have trans friends.
Not where I live.
No?
No, it's not where I live.
Some people are just born. I mean, surely we just accept people based on who they are. And young trans people, they're bullied, they're victimized, their lives can be hard, but then there are other young people who stand by them.
I don't think my kids would stand by that because they know who they are. They know how they were born. They know that there's two genders.
So what if your children became friends with a young trans person? What would you say to them?
It'd be a hard pill to swallow, but I can't let my kids hate somebody for being who they want to be.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I don't think it's morally right.
Do you think Donald Trump lives a Christian lifestyle? I mean, look at his history of sexual misconduct. He's not screaming Christianity to me.
Well, it's funny because all politicians want to scream that they're religious and so on and so forth, and every single one of them has done crazy things. I mean, look at Kamala, her way up there, when you look in California, how she got her foot in the door.
But we're talking about really serious sexual misconduct and the way he talks about women. I mean, do you think Jesus Christ would approve of that?
Well, we all look for forgiveness. I mean, that's what the good Lord has preached, People have make mistakes. A lot of people do. Not everyone's perfect.
Do you think he sought redemption, forgiveness?
Yeah, most definitely. I think so.
I've never heard him apologize for that.
Well, his actions speak louder than words, though. I mean, he's what he's doing for the next generations, for the future of America.
How does that make up for sexual misconduct?
I don't see. This has all been lies made up by the media, though. The sexual misconduct. They've all been divorced. They've all been married.
So you don't believe the women who come forward to talk about their experiences?
No, I don't believe any of it.
Right.
Because people only do that when they feel it's time to attack someone, when they want to run for political
What he said,
office.
for example, grab women by the pussy.
Well, that's locker room talk. You've
that-
never talked that kind of nonsense to your friends,
No.
whatever. Well, sorry. I mean,
But it's, as a Christ-
I'm a man, so yeah.
But you said you're a Christian, and you talked about how God disapproves of trans people, and then you're saying it's locker room talk about grabbing women by their genitalia.
But he didn't actually do it, though. It's just talk.
Well, he's accused of doing that.
Well, there's people that have been accused of all kinds of things.
I know, but he said it on camera. He said it on a recording. That's what he did.
Yeah, a locker room recording behind his back when he's talking to the guys. Yes.
All right.
People say stuff that they don't necessarily mean, and it gets taken out of context many, many times. And that's just it's a crazy world we live in. Everyone's looking to attack somebody for some reason. I don't know why.
Just lastly, is this very Christian either? I mean, just
not at all. Not at all.
Oh, it's just you talked about. Okay, so it seems a bit like Christianity for when it's not accepting trans people, but that's it.
I didn't purchase the shirt. I got it from my sister-in-law. Great purchase. He's been known to crap his pants.
Blimey, I didn't even know where to go with that. Do you think Donald Trump, in terms of Christianity, given his history, I mean, does he scream Christian, devout person?
I mean, not to me, but that's not personally the reason why I'm voting for him. I'm voting for him because of his foreign policy and because of just the way the economy has been with him. I'm going into sales, car sales specifically, and he's gonna fix the automotive industry, I believe.
Is Kamala Harris a communist?
Yes.
What makes her a communist?
She seems to enjoy being a chameleon. The way to get to communism is through socialism.
Okay.
And she's a huge advocate for socialism and
What
to
is-
the point of communism, but she never comes out fully to say she's for communism. But her
What is socialism?
Socialism? It's basically where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
That is not what I was expecting. I mean, people would say that's capitalism. Under capitalism, you've got the rich. They make money from working people, and they struggle as a result. That's capitalism?
No. Nope. It's a free market. A
Okay.
free market is capitalism.
And socialism's the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
Yep, because of dictatorships, because of the government control. It's a large government, basically.
Woo! Well, that was quite the experience. What I would say is this is the American manifestation of a phenomenon sweeping the Western world and beyond, and it is a far-right authoritarian movement which draws on different wells of support. Some from the disenchanted, some who are just the racist and paranoid and all the rest of it. But they could win, and they're a different movement than last time. They're more extreme, they're more angry, and more vengeful. How that plays out if they win or if they lose, that's what we're going to find out. But I would say, and this is the danger, they're more enthusiastic about their candidate than on the Democratic side. And Kamala Harris could still win, but that still has implications for what happens next. Now, we've gone to this great state of Wisconsin. Next, Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, states which help determine the result of this election. And we're going to meet some more fascinating people. I can't wait. If you want to help us on the way, because I don't know how long I'm going to be in the United States for. I'm going to do films after the election. Those videos are going to be really interesting, depends what happens. But go to patreon.com/Owen884 or go to the link and help us get more brilliant videographers like the one who is standing just next to me now to make these brilliant films. They're doing the hard work. Press like and subscribe, leave your comments and your thoughts, and I'll see you in Michigan.